Thank you for joining me on 13 Plus. I'm Cali Lichter, and this is On the Docket, a weekly recap of crime and court in and around the state of Michigan. This week, we take a closer look at the case of a man accused of shooting shots at GRPD officers. And our Aaron Sullivan looks deeper into the economic impacts of the Baldwin ICE Detention Center reopening. All that and more is On the Docket. We begin this episode with Ring doorbell video that captures a police shootout in a southeast Grand Rapids neighborhood. It happened on November 11th as two officers approached a suspect who then fired at them. One of the officers is in training with less than 2 months on the job. Arnick Nelson spoke with a neighbor off camera who came home from work to find her Ring doorbell captured the shootout.
Ring doorbell video from a neighbor captured the shots that rang out near the intersection of Adams Street and Blaine Avenue in southeast Grand Rapids. It happened just before 2 Tuesday afternoon when a senior officer and a rookie stopped someone who they believed was connected to a gun theft.
That individual fired multiple shots at the officers who then fired in return. Miraculously, no one was struck by gunfire.
The 18-year-old suspect then ran away. Multiple agencies showed up to assist in finding the suspect, including Michigan State Police.
The officers that responded for backup were able to locate this individual, place him in custody.
Police Chief Eric Winstrom says both officers are on paid administrative leave as MSP conducts its investigation. He adds, though, he hopes the rookie officer will continue with the department.
Spoke to him already. I think he's in good spirits. I think it certainly helps that no one was injured in this, but still a very traumatic experience to go through, and we'll help them, both officers, through that.
Winstrom says the situation could have turned deadly fast and is grateful everyone came out unharmed.
Just a reminder of how dangerous just basic police work can be, and I'm very thankful, especially that the officers are unhurt, but also that no innocent bystanders were injured and that this individual was placed into custody.
Then the following day on November 12th, we got a first look at the body camera video of two Grand Rapids police officers exchanging that gunfire with the suspect. In that video released by the Grand Rapids Police Department, it shows the moments leading up to the shots fired.
Keep your hands out of your pocket. Come here.
Stewart in first.
Body camera footage released by Grand Rapids Police shows the moments an 18-year-old man fired shots at two officers who then returned fire on November 11th on the southeast side. In a news conference Wednesday, Chief Eric Winstrom says the man was known on a first-name basis by the responding officers.
I know the background from the GRPD side that this individual, now that I know his identity, I know that he have an officer safety caution out for him, that I know the officers in that neighborhood are familiar with him.
Come here, man, buddy.
The man was a suspect in a gun theft investigation, but Winstrom believes he will be charged with assault with intent to murder in Tuesday's incident. The name of the man has not been released since he has not yet been formally charged.
If they weren't taking this gun off the street yesterday, it's very possible I could be talking today about another murder committed by that individual with that gun.
According to the video, 13 shots were fired total, 7 from one officer, 2 from the other, and 4 from the suspect. No one was hit. Winstrom says he cannot form a conclusion on policy and law, but he says he is proud to be the chief of the department.
Highlighted how excellent our training is, and this individual is behind bars hopefully a very long time, and hopefully when he comes out, he's a changed person.
He says it's also up to the community to keep young people in line.
Another question is, what is he out there doing with this gun? I know he's not going to the shooting range. I know it's not legally possessed. There have to be people in this young man's life that know that he's going out every day with a gun.
The full investigation is in the hands of the Michigan State Police. And finally, 3 days after the shooting, 18-year-old Yasir Lagrone faces multiple charges, including 2 counts of assault with intent to murder, which are capital offenses. Police say this man in the white shirt.
Keep your hands out of your pocket. Come here.
Stewart in first.
Who shot at police on November 11th is 18-year-old Yasir Legrone. Legrone was in court Friday facing several charges and a life sentence for allegedly shooting at the officers.
That offense is a felony, punishable by life or any number of years. Do you understand the charge and the maximum possible penalty?
Yes, ma'am.
Legrone is facing 2 charges of assault with intent to murder, carrying a concealed weapon, 2 counts of assaulting, resisting, obstructing an officer, and 2 weapons felony firearm charges. In a news conference on November 12th, Police Chief Eric Winstrom says Legrone was known on a first-name basis by the responding officers. Legrone was a suspect in a gun theft investigation.
If they weren't taking this gun off the street yesterday, it's very possible I could be talking today about another murder committed by that individual with that gun.
In body and dash cam footage released by GRPD, several shots can be heard, exchanged between 2 officers and who police say is Legrone. No one was hit. The full investigation was handed over to the Michigan State Police, and the 2 officers are on paid administrative leave. During his arraignment, a representative from Court Services said Legrone has a delayed sentencing in April for concealed carry charge.
These are also serious allegations, and 2 of which are capital offenses. Therefore, Article 1, Section 15 applies in this matter, and bond may be denied.
But the magistrate chose to not change Legrone's interim bond, sending him back to the Kent County Jail on a $750,000 bond. Legrone faces life in prison if convicted. Next on the docket, we were at an emotional vigil with a family trying to keep their loved one's memory alive. And we take you into the courtroom as a man is sentenced for stealing pontoon boats and then selling them. 2 years after a Lakeshore man died in a motorcycle crash, his family is trying to keep his memory alive. Our Lauren Baker tells us why a vigil happening is so important.
Mary Conrad's love story with her husband Nathan,
this is his riding jacket,
started when they were kids.
I grew up in Montague and he grew up in Whitehall, so I would see him riding around town on his pedally bike or on his little scooter.
Those 2 kids riding around town met again 25 years later.
I seen him walking into the pediatrician's office carrying a little baby, and I'm like, wow, he's a very handsome man.
Fell in love and joined their 6 children.
I legally adopted Nathan's 2 girls, Kira and Cali, that Sunday morning at 11:45.
To create a family.
He was an amazing father, an amazing husband, and he loved the Lord.
But just hours later.
And then tragically, Nathan was killed that evening around 7:45.
Those 2 lovebirds' lives were changed forever.
I mean, it breaks my heart knowing that he's not coming back.
Conrad was killed November 12, 2023, while riding his motorcycle when a truck crossed the center line on Apple Avenue in Muskegon. His good friend Natoya Chick,
I lived off Apple and I had heard all the sirens and everything going on,
says it still hurts knowing not everyone got to experience the goodness of her friend.
It was his soul for me, like just a very genuine individual, regardless of what he was going through in life. You know, if Nate loved you, he made sure you were good.
The driver of the truck, Dane Nino, was sentenced to 9 to 22 years. While Mary Conrad says she does think justice was served, forgiveness is something she's still working on.
No, I don't forgive him, but I know that in time God will allow me to forgive him because God has forgiven me endless amounts of times.
The type of faith his friend Allison Jackson says she hopes others will carry on.
What he left us was an inspiration to be more open with our faith, to talk to people more about who Jesus is to us.
And a type of man his wife hopes nobody will forget. For 13 on Your Side, I'm Lauren Baker.
2 months after failing to show up for sentencing, an Indiana man will spend years in prison for selling stolen pontoon boats in West Michigan. I was in the courtroom when Lance Holland learned his sentence. $76,000. That's the amount in restitution Lance Holland and his co-defendant, Ciandra Jackson, must pay to both an Ottawa County man and an insurance company for selling stolen boats online. Holland, from Fort Wayne, Indiana, pleaded guilty to stealing the pontoon boats from Kentucky and Alabama and then selling them in West Michigan.
I believe he's truly sorry for what he did. He understands that at this age, it's got to be time for this kind of behavior to stop.
Holland's attorney asked for a lower sentence because he cares for his mother back home, and it gives him time to work towards paying back the money. Tears streamed down Holland's face as he apologized.
I'm very remorseful about it. I know it's a time in my life that I got a nice history and it don't look good. but I'm just ready for a change.
He says he is ready to pay back the money as fast as he can and that he needs to provide for his mother. Judge Karen Miedema asked if Holland was thinking of his mother while committing the crime.
No, definitely not.
Why not?
Because when you're out there doing the things that you do, you don't think about nothing but all negative.
On top of the restitution amount, Judge Miedema sentenced Holland to 5 to 15 years in prison with credit for time served.
The court hopes that you make good use of your time and that when you get out, you are free from criminal activity.
Yes, ma'am.
Next on the docket, we look deeper into the docs of a man accused of shooting his neighbor's dog with a crossbow. And our Aaron Sullivan looks at the economic impact of the Baldwin ICE Detention Center. A Kent County man is facing an animal cruelty charge after allegedly shooting his neighbor's dog with a crossbow. I dug into the docs, and here's what we found. A Kent County man is facing charges after officers say the man admitted to shooting his neighbor's dog with a crossbow. The incident goes back to the evening of October 20th. According to a heavily redacted Kent County Sheriff's Office incident report, Thomas Weber told an officer with the Kent County Sheriff's Office he was hunting on his property when he saw a black lab and a white dog on his land. It says he had tried to contact the Sheriff's Office and Animal Control about dogs trespassing on his property, but felt no action had been taken. A witness in the report says Weber frequently complained about dogs in the area coming onto the property and had previously mentioned that he did not want to shoot them, but was frustrated with their presence on his property. The report says Weber was frustrated that day and then shot the dog with a crossbow broadhead arrow. He allegedly told the officer he did not know who owned the dogs, but admitted he should not have shot it. Weber is charged with killing/torturing an animal and is expected to be arraigned at the end of November. The report says the dog's owner has acres of property and that their dogs sometimes roam the area. One of the dog's owners acknowledged there was risks during hunting season, but never expected someone to shoot his dog. The owner also says he had not had any prior issues with his neighbors regarding his pets. Business owners inside Grand Rapids' History Sly Furniture building are wondering what to do next after learning the building could get shut down. Our Josh Albertus spoke to one of the businesses in the building and went to the courthouse to find out why it could be closed.
Welcome to Lost and Found, Treasures of Old and New.
Half of the process of finding and discovering things is it's like a treasure hunt.
Where you might run into more than one thing that stands out, including a welcome from co-owner Mark Miller.
We are ingrained in this building, and we are kind of an integral part of the community. You would be surprised how many people plan their weekends around coming to one of us to shop or all of us.
And he seems to know the history of the space in which he stands. Part of the historic Sly Furniture building in Grand Rapids.
It is what Grand Rapids was at the turn of the century, and your grandfathers and your forefathers and mothers all worked in these sort of factories, and just the amount of history just in the DNA of the building is amazing.
But Miller's piece in Grand Rapids history, along with those of Lost and Found's neighbors, could soon be coming to an end.
The paperwork arrived on Monday.
A court-appointed receiver for the property asked a court last month to close it, due to what the filing said were immediate safety issues and a lack of adequate cash flow to maintain and repair it. Concerns seem to focus particularly on building supports and its roof.
They have had issues. This building is full of issues. I mean, it's not an unheard of thing, but safety-wise, I don't see it.
The request and exhibits came in at nearly 200 pages. The filing telling the Kent County Circuit Court on October 14th, quote, given the magnitude and cost of repairs, minimal cash flow, and imminent safety risks, the receiver believes the best course of action is to provide 30 days notice to current occupants, commence eviction proceedings if they do not voluntarily vacate, and ensure the building is vacant by the time there is a heavy load of snow on the roof.
I'm sure there's a solution we can all come up with that doesn't have us all having to leave.
According to those court records, a hearing is scheduled for December 4th on that motion for closure. At this point, Miller says as they were prepping for their biggest shopping night of the year, their deer hunting widows party, he doesn't quite have a plan yet if they are told to leave. After the closing of Baldwin's North Lake Correctional Facility in 2022, many employees living in Lake County were left without jobs. That same facility has now reopened, serving as an ICE detention center. Our Aaron Sullivan visited Baldwin to learn more about the prison's impact on their community.
The North Lake Correctional Facility in Baldwin, Michigan officially reopened this June to operate as a U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Processing Center. Now, the facility is run by the Geo Group, a Florida-based private security company that was previously shut down in 2022 after former President Biden signed an executive order ending federal contracts with private prisons. Its reopening relieved some in Lake County, one of the poorest counties in Michigan, where they once again had a place where residents could work that might bring more people to the area. Like Jeremy Curtis, a resident of Baldwin and manager at Pompey's Pizzeria.
I know at least like 40 people myself working out there.
Curtis said Pompey is one of downtown Baldwin's only takeout spots, mostly getting busy during hunting and fishing season. But now with the prison reopened, he says his sales have improved by delivering pizzas to employees at North Lake.
It mostly affected our delivery. Our delivery drivers, I swear, are out there 4 or 5 times a night feeding the guys because they're not allowed to leave once they're clocked in.
He also says other businesses in the area have seen a boost as well.
You're feeding, 300 to 400 extra people lunch and dinner. You're gonna see a skyrocket in sales. So it's been good for the economy.
We did speak with a lot of residents here at Baldwin, many of them who didn't necessarily want to speak on camera, but they did tell us there's a lot of mixed feelings going on about this facility reopening. But overall, most people can agree that a lot of jobs are coming back to this area.
Yeah, my sister's girlfriend actually works out at the facility. She worked out there previously, and then when they opened back up, she got her job back. Actually, she got a bump in position.
But groups like the ACLU of Michigan say opening a prison in an area like Lake County is intentional.
The Geo Group, one of the things they do, and these private prison companies do, is they go into communities that don't have a lot of jobs available, that may not be the most economically strong communities in particular states or different areas. And they go in promising to offer all these good paying jobs, all these benefits.
And they say the purpose behind these facilities is nothing to celebrate.
I'd say about the Geo Group, private prison companies like that, they are making money off of people's suffering and separation from people who they love in their communities.
As ICE and immigration facilities like this continue to exist in our country, the conversation about the economic impact in low-income communities and human rights won't stop anytime soon, especially in Baldwin, where many residents remain divided. Reporting for 13 on Your Side, I'm Aaron Sullivan.
We did reach out to the Geo Group for comment, but have not heard back. Thanks for joining me in this episode of On the Docket on 13+. We'll bring you the latest on crime in court, both on air and online at 13onyourside.com. When breaking news affects you and your community, we stream live on 13+ with what you need to know right when you need to know. Thank you for joining me on the Docket.